Frogman in here. Okay, so we talked about the Warframe Glyph thing. I was trying to figure it out over the weekend, and I've come up with something I think to submit, trying to base it off of the specifics that they gave me and going off of what I've had to deal with in the past in terms of trying to submit something. So right now, just kind of go through a little bit that is the Night Owls logos and where we're going to end up, I think, with what I'm going to submit, as well as, in case you haven't noticed, on my YouTube page I've got a new logo set up, and on my Twitter page I put a new banner up as well. Over on Facebook I started something, yeah, so that ended up leading to a change in the logo a bit right now. So I'm going to keep the Night Owl the way it is for certain portions of the community for now. But I'm hoping you guys like the new logo the way it comes out. But we're going to incorporate a portion of that logo, and I'm going to submit just a portion of my new logo as my Glyph design. And hopefully it's okay, because they do specifically state don't make anything too intricate. But it's me, and well, that's what I do. If I'm going to go out and do this, I'm just going to kind of go out and do this. I'm going to break it down a bit and try to go to the lowest level of what I would submit to them, and we'll see. I tried when I first started as a fan channel. They wouldn't accept anything that had to do with the Night Owl or this portion of the logo in terms of just the logo itself, just because it didn't represent me directly. It represented the community, the Nog community. So then that's why I ended up using my picture profile, which is what everybody knows me as. It's, it's identifiable for more than 3 or 4 years now. But they want nothing to do with actual pictures, so no pictures like that. So I guess I can't submit that image of me, and if I did, then people could use it as their profile icon, and then there'd be a ton of me flying around on the forums, and people would be confused anyway. So we don't want that. So we're not going to submit the owl, not going to submit my picture, obviously not going to submit this original artwork here, which is an abstract version of an owl, very complicated, but it's an abstract art that I had created 6 years ago, back in 2010, and this is what's been the basis, and I've grown on top of it. Obviously you see this on the Night Owl logo now, still sits there, but so I made a couple changes to that in the process. So instead of rambling, let's kind of just go through where we're at here, and I'll show you everything more or less. I don't want to make it too complicated. Let me bring up my photo bin here. You can see there's a whole bunch of stuff. So this is the original logo as it stands. Then we had, when I came out with the actual Nog Army logo, which again, this is when we were specific Nog Army. This is back doing like FPS stuff like Ghost Recon Online and stuff, and we had this running in the games. And I still had the main logo right there in the dead center. But then this is what I had created on top of it, which I thought was pretty freaking awesome. Everybody liked it. We made it a little bit more intricate when I was playing GRO and some of the FPS games, and this was actually in the game for a while, kind of like, we have the Night Owls logo for the army, the clan, in Warframe. So I had this going on in there. And then I kind of was like, okay, if you ever look at the Night Owls gaming channel on YouTube, this is what we're using on that, which is another logo that I designed. And I have this in mind here. I had made it blue, black, yellow, and I tried to incorporate it in, but then I'm like, no, it has to do with something that's not directly me, so they're not going to accept it. So we're not going to go with that route either. And I'm going to leave this just as that is. I actually utilize this on our forums as well, for all our little icons, in case you guys aren't familiar with it. So I kind of kept going and going, and I was like, alright, I want to make something that's distinguishable. And so, of course, we started with a blank slate. You can see this is just an edited version. I had a whole full PSD file before this that I had to incorporate all of what I'm going to talk to you about here. But the original design, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, let's go here. Okay, so as you can see, this is where it's at. Actually, the original design started with me working on a couple of different like Chinese throwing star type of things. Then I started with coloring on the outsides and the insides. And then once I started coloring, I started layering on top of that. So I wanted the base yellow here, but this wasn't what I was really liking. So I went ahead and I actually went with a full yellow on top of it. And I kept that base there for a little extra tint around, if you will. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to add another layer to it, and we're just going to stick it right on top, and you're about to see as we go through it that this is probably too intricate for them, but hey, whatever. I can submit it and see what happens, right? If it doesn't go through, it doesn't go through. Hey, no big deal. So I wanted my base yellows and the black, right? And this is kind of offsetting of each other. As you can see, we've got a little lighting. And then I went ahead and I added a bright blue star to it, just like the base. And then I kind of made it all the way around on the blue. And again, we just offset it just enough that you can start seeing the blades kind of crossing over each other, like throwing stars, if you will, like a group of them. And then I went ahead and I threw the dark blue on top here. And this is where I was like, okay, this is pretty good. It's all a whole bunch of Chinese stars, throwing stars, layered on top of each other, and then odd colors. You know, it's very distinguishable for that, if you will. But I wasn't entirely happy with this particular setup. I wanted to make it a little bit more. And this is how we end up with the NOG logo, which I'll show you here at the end. The new NOG logo anyway. So coming back over here, what I ended up doing was I ended up removing a portion of it, the centerpiece of this. Okay, so you can still see the throwing stars, if you will. But we removed the centerpiece of it. And then I went ahead and I threw in a layer here, an oval ring, if you will, that kind of ties it all together. And this is kind of what I'm thinking I may submit to them, just like this, as the base image. It's either going to be submitting it this way or submitting it this way, which I don't really like it this way. It doesn't seem like it's fully finished off, this particular way of doing it. When I do this, when I add that ring in there to kind of tie it together, for me this feels a little more finished off here. And I was going to try to submit this to them because obviously it's distinguishable colors. It's going to represent me because you're going to see it on my pages. You're going to see it on it's on the YouTube page, the colors and the scheme. You're going to see it on my Twitter page. You'll see it on the Facebook page. You'll see it on the NOG website and the forums in some version of it. So it'll be kind of something that represents me. But yet I don't think it's too complicated that they can't put it in. But, whatever. Like I said, if it doesn't go in, it doesn't go in. It's no major loss. It would be cool. It would be something for people to distinguish. But I can't actually use my owl logo. I can't actually use my original logo because that's actually all copyrighted material for me. I've got that copyrighted to the Night Owls community. And they said no copyrighted material. So that's why I created this new base here. Just some ideas. And then, like I said, I was going to put the owls inside, and I'm like, nah, that's too much. I don't like that. Then I was going to go and work with the ring on the outside, which is what I end up with in the logo, which you'll see. And this looks pretty cool too, but I think this might be too much for them. They would probably say absolutely not, way too detailed, intricate, if you will. So we removed that. I do end up putting in a slightly different version of my original logo, which obviously it's blue with some yellow highlights in there as a centerpiece. And then I eventually end up with this being the new logo design. And of course, if you're looking at it, you don't really tell right off the bat that those are actually throwing stars all around in there. But me explaining it to you, obviously you understand there's 4 layers of throwing stars. Remove the centerpiece, we put the actual NOG logo in there. We added the Night Owls Gaming Community ring around the outside, and it just all comes together at the right positioning. I think it really stands out. And it's something I kind of need anyway, because I've had the actual owl logo now for 5 years that I've been using it. I used the original logo for like a year, and then I created the owl logo. And I kind of need, for me, I need something fresh, something new. So this is kind of stepping it back, taking the old original, always going to keep that in there, and then just kind of making something new and bold. And I think this is pretty cool, but you guys could probably all think it's shit, but I think it's pretty cool. And you know what? It doesn't really matter, I guess, right? Because it's my community, so it's whatever logos I want to make. But again, I won't be able to submit it this way because this is going to be copyrighted material as it's now released on my channels. It becomes as such. But I would still like to submit it, like I said, take out my logos and submit it, I think, this way. Just enough. It's distinguishable. It's different than everybody else. If you watch this video now, you know what it is. And I think it all comes together. I think if I were to submit it with just the layers of throwing stars that I created here, it just wouldn't work. It just doesn't seem like it's finished. Here, it seems a much more finished product. And I'm going to try to submit it and see what happens. I mean, you guys can tell me comments what you think. If you're still even watching, whatever. So if you haven't looked anyway, so this is where I'm at. As you can see, this YouTube banner is very detailed and intricate, and it's taken a very long time to put these together. But this is my new YouTube banner. If you haven't seen it yet, it's out there, where I've got the new logo. My face is still up in the corner, like I'm not going to change that logo anytime soon. My image, my cartoonish image. But this is where I'm at here now. And the same thing is I went and I created a new Twitter header as well. So you've got the Twitter, you've got the Twitch, which at some point I'll go back to using Twitch. You've got the YouTube, and you've got the Facebook on there, along with the official channel and all that. So I think it comes in pretty well when you look at it on the Twitter page. Again, very detailed as well in here, different layers, all different things going on. But yeah, I thought that came out pretty well as well. I'm just rambling. I wanted to talk to you guys and let you guys understand where we're at with the logo, so you can actually physically understand what the logo is. I mean, if you're looking at it, you won't right off the bat realize the different layers that are all in there to make this. But with a video like this, you'll understand how the layers work. So yeah, there's that. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling. I've got a lot of things to still get done. School starts for my kids tomorrow. It's crazy right now. Alright, well, hopefully you enjoyed it. I hope you guys like this new logo. I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely different. It's got to take some time to transition it all the way in. Like I said, the original logo will still sit around a bit. Or the owl logo will still sit around a little bit as I transition it in. And yeah, please do give me your thoughts on this one. What you think, I should submit that or not. I mean, it would be awesome to have it in game and people recognize it and all that good jazz. And if they don't accept it, they don't accept it. It's no major loss on my behalf. And then I guess the other question would be is, do I update the logo for our community in game? Pay platinum again to update our clan logo to the new logo, or just leave it as it is. We'll see. Anyway, I'll catch you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in, chilling out, listening for a few minutes.